A new political message from the White House is drawing attention as the US President, Mr. Donald Trump, openly speaks about public mood and war fatigue that is linked to the ongoing conflict involving Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, the comments came during an Easter lunch event at the White House, basically a setting usually associated with diplomacy and calm. Well, the message that was delivered, it was anything but simple. Do Americans still have patience? Well, that was the core question raised by Mr. Trump as he pointed to what he described as growing pressure inside the United States to end the conflict sooner rather than later. He suggested that public support for a prolonged war may be weakening and that many Americans now want a clear end to the whole situation. Well, Trump described a mood of exhaustion, a sentiment that, according to him, is increasingly visible among citizens who want the conflict to conclude rather than expand. And he summarized this feeling in very simple terms: just win, come home. A message that reflects impatience, urgency, and desire to avoid long-term military engagement. And at the very same time, Trump made a striking remark about strategic option, saying that the US could, if it chose to, take responsibility and control of Iran's oil reserves very easily. But he quickly added that such a move would be unfortunate, pointing to lack of strong public backing for any such escalation. Now, this dual message, showing strength while also acknowledging restraint, it highlights the internal tension in the US policy thinking as the conflict continues. On one hand, military capability and strategic dominance, and on the other hand, political limit and public opinion. Well, the broader context remains very important though. The war involving Iran has already stretched across multiple regions, with rising pressure on military forces, allies, and global supply route. And as the conflict continues, domestic sentiments in the US is becoming a key factor, shaping decisions at the highest level. So, what it reveals? It reveals a leadership balancing act. It reveals a public that may be questioning long-term involvement, and it reveals a war where military action and political patience must now move together. But behind the statement lies a bigger reality. Wars are not only fought on the battlefield. They are also shaped by public opinion, political pressure, and national mood. And when patience begins to weaken, strategy often begins to shift. And now the key question stands out clearly. Is the American public losing patience with the war? Will political pressure forces change in strategy? And could this really influence how the conflict with Iran unfolds in the coming weeks? For now, the message from Washington is mixed. Confidence in capability, but caution about continuation. And in that balance, the next phase of the conflict may already be taking shape.